My name is Robert Cook, and I'm telling the story of my great-great-grandfather, a man that most people have never heard of, but should never forget. His story doesn't follow the narrative that you've always heard. This story you never learned in school. One thing is certain. There are always at least two sides to every story, and sometimes things are complicated. Frederick Marshall Bethier Cook, known as Marsh, was born in Jasper County, Mississippi in 1846. He was the son of John H. Cook Sr., a pioneer farmer, a Freemason, a landowner, and a slaveholder, and at age 65, a devout Christian and a member of the Methodist Church. Before the war, his father donated land to build the Spring Hill Negro School, 2 miles south of Paulding. Not something expected in those times. At just 17, Marsh joined the 6th Mississippi Cavalry, fighting for the Confederacy in the Civil War. Like many young Southern men, he fought to defend his home, his land, and his way of life. But the war left its mark. His older brother Philip was killed in action. And when Marsh came home, things were different. Marsh took up farming. We haven't confirmed his formal education, but we know that his father valued learning. And there is evidence that Marsh likely read the law, which was a common path to legal training in those days. In 1867, Marsh married Susan Munger, who also lost 2 brothers in the war. She was the daughter of the Honorable Henry Munger, a respected lawyer and Jasper County judge, and the preacher at the Methodist Episcopal Church. This was a family rooted in law, faith, and public service. By the 1870 census, just 5 years after emancipation, a black woman named Eliza Tatum and her 3 children were living in Marsh's household, alongside Susan and their first daughter, their infant, Elizabeth. Now, they weren't listed as servants. They weren't slaves. They were living together on the farm in the same home. Marsh became a member of the Farmers Alliance, a populist movement at that time uniting the working class whites and blacks to challenge economic and political corruption. He soon became a leader within the movement. He was a landowner, working hundreds of acres in Jasper County. He and Susan raised 9 children. And before his death, he had also entered the timber business. But he wasn't just building a livelihood. He was building something larger. He had ambition to make things better. In 1881, disillusioned with the political status quo, Marsh left the Democratic Party and ran as an independent for Chancery Clerk. A bold move in a region dominated by Democratic control. It was the first public sign that he was willing to stand apart. He also bought into a newspaper partnership and became a co-editor of the Alliance Eagle in Ellisville, Jones County, a region known as the Free State of Jones, where Unionist and Republican sympathies ran deep, even during the war. Marsh used this platform to speak out for voting rights, land reform, and political equality, even when his co-editor publicly disagreed with his Republican views. He was known across the state as a master of parliamentary law, respected for his ability to lead meetings, hold the floor, and keep order. In 1888, Marsh ran for U.S. Congress as a Republican. He lost to Democrat Chapman L. Anderson, but not quietly. Widespread voter interference was common in Mississippi, and Marsh formally contested the election. Although the challenge was unsuccessful, it exposed just how deeply suppression and fraud had taken hold. That experience only strengthened his resolve. In 1890, he ran to be a delegate to the Mississippi Constitutional Convention, a convention openly designed to strip black Mississippians of their right to vote. He wasn't running to support it. He was running to stop it. He spoke at black churches. He invited open dialogue. He was warned, and he was threatened. And on July 23, 1890, after leaving Mount Zion and traveling toward Montrose, Marsh Cook was ambushed on a rural road. 6 men hid inside the old hamlet schoolhouse. They removed planks from the wall, aimed their shotguns, and waited. When Marsh passed by, they fired 6 shotguns loaded with buckshot into his body. His horse was hit, the saddle was pierced. 27 buckshot were found in his head and side. He was left in the dirt. There were no arrests, no justice. But everyone knew why it happened. Marsh Cook was murdered by white supremacist extremist Democrats, operating like the Ku Klux Klan. He was assassinated for speaking the truth, for challenging white supremacy, and for standing up with those that the system wanted to silence. They tried to erase him, but I carry his name. And now I carry this story. Subscribe and like for part 2, The Ambush, coming soon. Follow to hear what they never taught you in school.